And hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am your host, Rick Williams. Just sitting in the studios again. Come to talk to you again about just the issues that we face every day. You know, I enjoy speaking about what we go through, what we deal with every day. It's getting close to the election again. And I'm back again, as I would say, speaking to you about the election. But I was watching the news and they got this group, white guys, white men, white boys, whatever, for Kamala Harris. And we hear that there are so many of us black men that does not support her. And what is your reason? Do you really believe that the other candidate is going to really support your issues, your concerns, make life better for you? I really want you to take time and think about it. Why can't we get behind what's better for us? If you think that things was great for you in 2016 to 2020 and that the other candidate did it for you, maybe you ain't did your research. Because sometimes when they pass a bill and it don't go into effect until January 1st, July the 1st, or the beginning of the fiscal year, or whatever it may be, that they may change presidents. And when it go into effect, it make life better for you, or make things better for you, and you give credit to the person that really didn't do it. And that's maybe be what you all are thinking, that the other candidate has got your best interest in hand. Well, maybe not. Have you took and looked at any of the Project 2025 and see what's in there that's going to make life better for you? Myself, no, I haven't read it. I'll be honest, I haven't read it. But just by knowing the other candidate history and the things that he have done, I don't think there's nothing in there that's going to make life better for me. Is the vice president going to do something better for me? We hope so. But I got a better chance of getting behind the vice president for a more better life than being in a life of a dictator. When you want to cut Social Security, take away Medicare, stop funding but public school systems, then think about how much would it affect you and your family? How much would it affect you? Why don't we come together and get behind the candidate that has a bright future for this country? Get behind the candidate that wants to do something to turn the page. You looking at someone in their 60s, she's 59, 60, compared to someone 78, they got 34 felony counts against them, have filed bankrupt over 15 times, 5 or 15 times, or whatever the numbers are, and that's the person that you want to lead your future? I believe to say, if I maybe mentioned once before, if you've done so good from 2016 to 2020, why didn't you repeat and do 20 to 24? And then you'll be going home and sit down and relax at 78 years old, instead of being at 78 and trying to get back in office. I mean, my phrase I used to say, if I'm in the house, why the heck would I want to go out of the house and try to get back in? In other words, if you was the president, why didn't you do what you're supposed to do so you could get another term? So think about that when you think about going to the polls and casting your vote. I'm not sitting here this day to tell you who to vote for, but I tell you who to think about, and think about who you're voting for. Where would it affect your life? How would it affect your life? Would it make life better for you? That's up to you. But let's do what we're supposed to do. Read. Get information. You cannot just take what the news tell you. You can't take what the analysts tell you. You can't take what just the commentaries tell you. You can't take all that. You got to think what affect you, because whatever they do, they get a check. They got a job. If it's going to affect your job for who's going to lead this country, then you should think about who you're going to give your vote to. But I'm back to the black men that don't want to get behind the vice president. Why? Why? What is your reason? Do you have a group of black men that have a good reason? Well, I ain't seen it. Maybe you do. And there are some very, very intelligent, bright, good men's fathers and everything out here. I'm not putting us down. But I'm just wondering why we don't have no unity among each other. We're the only race of brothers that will not stand with one another. Now, before I throw everybody up under the bus, I do understand that there are some groups of unity, brothers sticking together and helping one another. But it's few to none, because you don't see it like you see more of us doing the negative things towards each other. Why do we look at one another and grim and frown and want to fight one another instead of helping one another? I speak about this every time I get in front of a camera. I cannot stand how we are so divided and don't have no unity. We as black men need to be more stronger in supporting one another in whatever we face and whatever we're going through. Here on the show, I'm looking in the next couple episodes to bring young folks on a panel. And I want to see how they think about this election. I want to hear from them. I seen after Donald Trump and the vice president was in Pennsylvania or whatever, and they asked young people and put pictures in front of them, vice president, former vice president, and asked them what they thought about this and that. And a young kid, the ages of 10 to 11, looked at the picture of the vice president. She is a liar. 11 years old. Looked at the picture of the former president. He's a felon. Now, not saying that they didn't learn and talk about it in the classroom or whatever, but mostly believe that came from home. Kids are repeating what they hear and what they hear at home from their parents. 11 years old going to call the vice president a liar? He had to hear it from a grown-up. But they asked several kids around 11 and 12 years old what they thought they were future voters, and if they was to vote today, what did they think of the two candidates? And that's something for them to speak like they spoke about the candidates. Why? Because they hear what their parents say. That's what goes on at home. If you look at the color of my skin and you hate us or you racist, are you really? Or are you just following the trend of what other folks that you are around feel about the color of my skin? Why are people with the color of my skin have so much hate among each other? Why is the people with the color of my skin is not standing together in unity to make a better tomorrow? We can be the most strongest race of people in this country if we stood together. So I ask you, why don't you just stand? Stand up. Like Donnie McClurkin say, just stand. When you've done all you've done, just stand. It's time for us to stand. It's time for us black men to not be put down, shut down, and embarrassed by the black women in this country that's taking the stand for a better tomorrow. And we standing back. But we must look at one thing. Society shows that they took the man out of the house. They took the black man out of the house. They told us how to raise our kids. They offer us ADC, welfare, as long as a man wasn't in the house. They made us lazy if you choose to be lazy. I don't choose to be lazy. What about you? So today I'm talking to you about time to come together and make a difference among us. Oh, I'm proud to see in our community, in our city, in our state, there are quite a few entrepreneurs that's popping up, getting into their own business, using their brain. But we're not supporting them. And maybe you say their stuff too high. We understand. For them to get the supplies that they need to run their store or to run their business, they got to pay double, triple to what the other competitor paid for the supplies. But we got to find a way to support them. I'm so sad to go in any establishment, whether it's a restaurant, a clothes store, or any business, and we working there and don't have no skills in customer service. It makes you don't even want to shop there because we have that I don't care attitude. I know if I get these hours in, I got me a check coming. But you can go turn around and get your check and go shopping, and somebody can treat you disrespectful or no customer service, and you will be the first one to complain about how bad the service is, but forget that you work in customer service. So if you want somebody to treat you with respect and kind and appreciate you shopping at that establishment, you should do the same thing if you work in customer service. Us brothers need to come together and help one another. I speak to you all the time about us sharing our experience with our health. Prostate cancer, diabetes, high blood pressure, and things that we're going, and give the information to one another. Don't always depend on the doctor to tell you the truth. Give your brothers, give your friends the symptoms that you experience, to identify that you had this illness or you had that illness, so you can help them pinpoint the things that they may be suffering from, the things they may be dealing with. That's coming together to help one another. And that's just for the men's, it's for the women's too. Why don't we stop dogging one another? Why don't a sister stop dogging one sister from the other? Because she dressed like this, or because she wearing this, or because she wearing that. Do you really know what she may be going through? Or what she have been through? Sometimes think before we started dogging one another. If we found more unity with each other, we'll spend less time dogging one another. I took this platform and I took this camera and put it in front of me to speak of the things that I have seen, experienced, or know of in these 67 years that I've been here. And I hope that the good Lord get more days and times and years for me. But I say to you, we got to get it together. We got to get it together. I'm going to have, again, as I mentioned, in a few weeks, I'm going to have a panel of young folks, between 18 and 30, on this panel in front of this camera, speaking about what they experience and what they feel in today's life. And try to share some experience of my 67 years here that may make them think. But I must realize that today is different than it was 10 years ago. Today is different than it was 20 years ago. So we have to listen to them and try to coach them into where they live in today. We cannot think that our old-fashioned ways is the right way, but we can use the foundation of the mother wit syndrome, what Big Mama and Grandmama taught us. That's the template of raising a child, using what you was taught many years ago. And once we learn to love one another, we can come to be in support of one another. So I urge you to look at yourself today and ask, what can you do? What can you do to change the environment around you? Can you be somebody to speak up and make a change? Can you be somebody to stop dogging out each other? Don't matter what she wearing. She got a weave, got eyelashes that look like windshield wipers. It don't matter. Say you look good. Say you look good. Because we got enough of America saying we look bad. We monkeys, we this, we that. If we don't learn to love one another, we ain't gonna never get nowhere. So when you go to the polls this November the 5th, think about your tomorrow. And then you'll think about who you want to lead this country for your tomorrow. I'm not sitting here asking you to vote for this person or vote for that person, but I'm asking you to vote, and vote your heart for what's best for you. Yes, for the last 4 or 5 episodes, 3 or 4, whatever it may have been, every time I get a chance, I'm speaking to you about the importance of what it is to vote. The importance that you made it to the age of 18 to have the right to vote. You made it to the age of 18 to have the right to speak. But search and find out about what you're speaking about, what you're caring about, what your concerns is, and come together. Have a debate among each other. You ain't got to fight, you ain't got to swear and cuss one another out, but have a debate and get an understanding, because you never know how somebody else may feel about some of the things you think about, and you may get a better understanding. But if we don't come together and speak on what we are suffering from, what affects us, we never going to get nowhere. So I'm back to the beginning. Us black men need to come together strongly in this country and have more unity among us and stand for something instead of just falling for anything. That's what we need to do. We need to come together and stand together instead of just falling for anything. I heard that they want him back in office because they gave him $1,200 stimulus package back then. But when you got that money, we was in a pandemic. We probably in a pandemic, but it ain't that pandemic. We in a lazy pandemic because you don't want to get up and do nothing. Fellas, stop looking for a woman that's going to put a roof over your head with your lazy butt. Don't want to get up and do nothing. She going to school, she going to work, and you at home playing video games at 60 years old, 40 years old. I'm sorry, but anybody that takes in a sorry man is a sorry person themselves. God bless the child that got his own. If two people working together, you can't beat them. You cannot beat them. And stop dogging one another out. Ladies, stop putting a man down. Because you may have a 500 fortune job, or you may have degrees in this, and he may be just a construction worker, a garbage man, or working at one of the low-income homes, but guess what? He's working. When I say homes, jobs, he's working, and he's bringing something to the table. Because why is it okay for you to have a dead-end job or not working, and he's a successful man taking care of the whole household, and you just there getting your nails done, your hair done, and whatever? He's taking care of you, making you look good, giving you everything. And today, y'all say that's what a man's supposed to do? On one page, y'all say that's what a man's supposed to do. On the other page is, I'm an independent woman. I don't need nobody to take care of me. Maybe you don't. Maybe you don't. Maybe you don't. But y'all can work together. If I got $10 and you got 90, we got 100. If you got 5 and I got 95, we still got 100. If I got 50, you got 50, we got 100. But if we come together, we can do things. But if you come in this situation with an agenda, it ain't gonna never work. And what do you do when the bottom falls out? What do you do when the bottom falls out? So, come together, people. Let's come together and support one another. Let's come together and help one another to go forward. We can do better. We can be stronger. You may not be old as me, and you may be older than me. Can you remember when we had what they call here in the Michigan, in the city of Detroit, Black Bottom? Black Bottom wasn't just something they call the ghetto or Black Bottom. No, it was an area where all of the black business and black folks supported one another. Cleaners, laundromats, housing, stores, gas station, and we support it. We spend money in that community. Look around. Who's in your community you spending money with? And what is you getting from it? Who in your community that you spending money with, and what are you getting for it? Think about it. So what are we going to do going forward? It's time to turn the page. It's time for us to take a stand and be counted in this country, because we are somebody too. What are you going to do? I'm ready. Let's take a stand. Let's fight. Fight, not with these, but with this. The most powerful weapon in this country is the ink pen. Let's put the pen to the paper. Let's make a difference. Putting the pen to the paper is what I say when you go and vote. Put the pen to the paper and use your power to fight and make a difference. So keep your eyes open. Watch. I'll be back with a panel of young folks on this show. So we, as a moderator, I will ask questions and let them answer so we can hear what they got to say. I will have my guest back soon, Brother Rod Graham from the Detroit Police Department. And I'm going to have a college professor from Wayne County Community College on the show coming soon. So keep on watching, and you can email me at rickwilliams81@gmail.com. Or you can look me up over here at the studio, 20833 Southfield Road, Southfield, Michigan, 48075. Let me know what's on your mind. Let me know what you want to hear, what you want me to talk about. Right here in the studios of Rick Williams. Thank you so much for tuning in. And look for the video on Roku, Apple TV, Facebook, and YouTube. For more episodes, check it out. Check it out. Please. Please. Because I'm always trying to speak about what's on my mind. But we need to come together in unity. God bless you all. Thank you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for listening. And look me up. Email me at rickwilliams81@gmail.com or at the studios, 20833 Southfield Road, Southfield, Michigan, 48075. It's been a pleasure speaking to you again this afternoon, saying the things that I face, the things that I see, the things that I heard, or the things that I may know. But I know it's time to stand up and make a change. God bless you. May God keep you safe for any harm and danger to you and your family. Until we come back again, be safe and always, always thank God.